Marcus, and today we'll take a look behind the scenes of how the yearbook is made. We are joined today with Miss Dooley, who is going to share her experiences and expertise with us as we uncover how the yearbook is made. So, Miss Dooley, what made you want to take on the role as yearbook advisor?
Well, my experience for most of my education career has been in the library. And when I applied to be at Stanton River High School, one of the perks was being the journalism teacher. And I had been a journalism major in college. So I was definitely excited to finally use those skills and teach to other students to learn how to make a yearbook. And it was also a challenge. I was not involved with yearbooks before.
What's the process like for putting the yearbook together from start to finish?
That is a loaded question. It is a almost year-long process. Students, it is a student publication. So for everyone to understand that it is created by students, certainly with guidance from me and from our yearbook company. So students are involved with every step of the process. They are the photographers, they are the writers, they are the designers, they are also the ones who sell the advertisements and put it all together. Every yearbook has a theme, and so every year we come up with a new theme to kind of tie everything together and make it one sort of cohesive package. And it's also really important to realize that this is a historical record. I mean, we have to be accurate in what we report and all the facts that we include, because years from now, people will look back at that yearbook to see that information.
I could see how useful that would be for sports coaches and, yeah.
Well, Mr. Mustard, who is our athletic director, many times I've come into my classroom and found him looking at the yearbooks because part of his job is to come up with our Hall of Fame. So he will rely on those old yearbooks to find old sports records, different athletes from the past. Several times a year, people come to the office and they ask to see old yearbooks. So it is something that, if people don't have them in their own possession, we do have all the yearbooks here from this school since it opened. And people do want to see those yearbooks from time to time.
What skills do you think students take from being part of the yearbook staff?
You learn a lot of skills, not just the writing and the photography and the design, which is, again, a big part of what we do, but also teamwork. Students really have to be able to work together. They have to be able to handle pressure. We have deadlines we have to meet. We also have financial obligations we have to meet as far as, selling ads and selling yearbooks. So I think it to me is really like real world workplace skills. What we call soft skills, so things that aren't necessarily measured, but again, the teamwork, the being able to handle pressure and deadlines, being able to kind of get outside your comfort zone, talk to people, do new things.
What advice would you give to next year's students thinking about joining the yearbook team?
I would say come talk to me. I would love to talk to anybody. In fact, I've already started trying to recruit some people for next year. I think it is an elective class, and it does give you, again, as I said, a lot of real world skills. So when you get out into the workplace or even anything you do, being able to get along with others, being able to work as a team, being able to jump in and do jobs as needed, being flexible. Certainly, we want students who feel comfortable writing. If students have previous photography experience, that's great. But if not, we learn on the job, and we do. People can help each other, and it's just a great experience. And it's also a way for you to create that lasting memory of this school year. That you can look back on and be like, not only are you in the yearbook, but hey, I wrote that or I did that. That's my picture.
And my last question for today, what are you excited about in this year's yearbook?
We have a very young staff this year. We have we have 4 returning staff members from last year. And mostly new students. So I'm just excited for us to be learning these skills and bringing it all together. I think it's going to be another great yearbook. We have a really good theme this year. I'm not going to share it yet because we're still working on it and want it to be kind of a surprise at this moment. But it's coming together nicely. We've already had some exciting things happen at our school this year, some new things. That's one thing about a yearbook. You kind of have a lot of the same things happen year after year. The same sports teams and the same classes and activities. But every year it is also a little different. Obviously, new people, and we have had some new things happen this year. So we're excited to cover the things that we cover every year, but also add the new things into the book.
How do you deal with deadlines when everything starts to pile up?
Well, we do have deadlines from our publisher that we have to meet in order to get the book back by the end of the year. How do I handle deadlines? That's a good question. I will be honest, I am someone that can be a last minute person, but that really doesn't always work with Yearbook. So we do I have sort of mini deadlines that we set to try to get things done. And we sort of work on things piece by piece. So, we've been, obviously you got to take the pictures. So once we get the pictures from there, then we write the captions that go with the pictures describing what's going on. And then from there, then we'll figure out what's the story to tell. What's the story to tell with this year's volleyball team? Or what's the story to tell that's happening this year in an English class or with a particular club or activity. So there's a lot of pieces that come together. So we kind of try to tackle things one at a time and then sort of put it all together. We also do celebrations as a staff. So as we meet our deadlines, in years past, we've had pancake parties. We did last year, we got to go to Hawaiian fluid art and do paintings as sort of a celebration for all the spreads, the pages of the book that we completed. So we just tackle it one thing at a time, and then we celebrate when we're done.
What's one of your favorite memories from working on past yearbooks?
Well, one memory of Yearbook, and one thing that we've been able to do the last 3 years is take a trip to New York. And so there is an organization called the Columbia Scholastic Press Association. And every March they have a spring convention with workshops and classes focusing on different journalism topics. And that is definitely a great memory to get to go to New York with students and kind of look at what we're doing, compare it to other schools. There's students from all over the country that go to this event, attend classes, kind of see what the trends are with Yearbook, and then bring it back and start working on next year's book. So that is definitely something I look forward to hopefully doing again this year.
And that concludes this episode of The Perch. Join us next week when we sit down with Miss Quinn and the FFA leadership.